Today, we're talking about why disappointment has nothing to do with what happens to you and everything to do with what you expected.
Life is beautiful.
But before we get into today's episode, Nick, quick trivia question for you.
Mm-hmm.
A Roman walks into a bar to order some beers, and he holds up 2 fingers. How many beers does he want?
I'm going to say 2.
I want to say 2.
I want to say 2.
It's actually 5 because it's a Roman numeral. Get it?
So it's 5.
5-star Friday! Woo!
Wow, you're getting really energetic.
Up in the excitement for this one.
Okay.
This is the one time a week where we ask you to do us a huge favor to take just 5 seconds to leave us a 5-star rating wherever you podcast. That way, when other people come and discover the show, they see those 5-star ratings there and they say to themselves, okay, this must be a really good show because other people really like it, so maybe I'll like it too. And if they see very few 5-star ratings, then they won't even give it a chance. So we'd really, really, really appreciate if you can do us that huge favor. Thank you very, very much. It's the best free way you can support the show.
All right, now I'm back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, so now we're going to do a nice little joke. You ready for this one?
Mm.
A doctor is doing a checkup on a 95-year-old man and notices he has a prescription for Viagra. So the doctor says, at your age, you got a girlfriend? And the guy says, no, nothing like that. The doctor says, so why on earth are you taking Viagra? And he says, it keeps me from rolling out of bed at night. That was a joke from a comedy club that we went to last week, and we were the youngest people in this comedy club by about 30 years. We were
the Viagra joke. There was multiple Viagra jokes.
multiple Viagra jokes, multiple aging jokes. The average age was 80 years old in this place. So the funniest part wasn't actually the people on stage. It was seeing how much the old people were dying laughing at these corny ass jokes that weren't really that funny.
I think they were actually really impressive, the comedians.
But one thing the comedians did know was how to manage expectations. So they would get your brain expecting one thing, like for example, you think that this guy, you're expecting Viagra's for his girlfriend, and then you realize, oh, misdirection. The Viagra's actually to use as a kickstand for him to not get out and roll out of bed. So we wanted to make an episode about expectation management. And the funny thing is, we had such low expectations for this comedy event because we walked in and we were just like I said, the youngest people by 30 years at least. And we were expecting this to be horrible. And because our expectations were so low, we left feeling so happy and satisfied because we had a great time.
Yeah, the first time I really learned about expectation management was when my wife Amanda and I went on vacation one year. And we went to, where was it in Europe? I believe it was Greece. And we started our vacation in the most beautiful hotel, like right on the beach, crystal clear water, like 5-star beautiful hotel. And it was like the high of all highs. And then we had 2 more legs to our trip. And every leg compared to that first leg got worse and worse. So because that expectation of the first place was set so high that this vacation was going to be miraculous, the other places, even though they were great, were not making her as happy.
Yeah.
And when I experienced that, I now always design vacations so that they progressively get better.
The hotels get better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the expectation is set very low at the beginning and rises as it goes on.
Yeah.
And the cliche thing that you hear in business all the time is the best businesses under promise and over deliver. And really the most upset you get with businesses, if you really think about it, are the ones that over promise and then under deliver. Those are the ones where you're sitting at dinner and you complain because they said you were going to get this and they didn't do this, and that.
Yeah. So as I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking, when did this happen to me recently? My wife's friend's wedding, which I actually talked about in a previous episode of this podcast. And on this day, it was expected to be the most torrential downpour of the entire year. And on top of that, there were Canadian wildfire smoke that was making the air quality like the worst air quality of the entire year. So on paper, this wedding day was expected to be literally out of 365 days of the year, the worst day to get married. Okay, so that's where the expectations were. When we actually showed up, the wildfire smoke had mostly cleared, not completely, but mostly cleared, and it downpoured for a few minutes, but then the rain stopped. But it was still super cloudy. By no means a nice day at all. Yet everyone was saying, wow, thank God the weather really held up. Like, think about that. You're looking at a cloudy, smoky sky, but because your expectations were for this to be the worst day of the year, people are saying, wow, thank God this was such a nice day.
Yeah, then that reminds me of Mo's formula for happiness. Mo is a recent podcast guest that we've had,
Yep.
and he wrote a book called The Happiness
Equation.
Equation. And his equation for happiness is this: happiness is equal to or greater than your perception of life events minus your expectations of how life should be.
Yes.
Double click that, Mike.
Basically, those are the two levers you have in life in order to be happy. You have how you perceive life events and then your expectation of what life should give you. And the one we're focusing on in this episode is your expectation of what life should give you. And the lower your expectations are of what life should give you, the happier you will be. It's literally that simple. And I think there's an important caveat here before we wrap this episode up. We are not saying to have a low expectation of yourself, right? Because I think that can be a counter argument to this. Like, what are you saying? That I should just like have low expectations for myself and for my life? And no. That is not what we are saying at all. You can have a very high expectation of your inputs in life, but release all expectations of what life will give you back. That is the key, because that expectation of the output of your input is totally out of your control. And the lower those expectations are, the happier you will be. So keep the highest standard. Keep the highest standard for your own inputs, the highest expectations of yourself. But when it comes to what you deserve from life, keep those as low as possible if you want to be happy.
Yeah.
It's just logic.
Yeah, one really helpful philosophy is that basically just waking up to see another day
Is a bonus.
is a great thing, and everything past that is bonus.
Yep.
That is an expectation. If you start your day with that, you are set up for happiness.
100%. So let's wrap this up with a call to action. It's to ask yourself, where might your expectations be too high in your life right now? To the point that you might be setting yourself up for disappointment. Maybe it's a new relationship or a date that you're super excited about, that you're having these really high expectations for. Maybe you need to lower those expectations. Maybe it's about how fast you're going to grow your business, or a new product you're excited to launch, or how amazing your vacation is going to be. We think that having those high expectations are a good thing, but really, the low expectations, let yourself be pleasantly surprised if it ends up being awesome, right?
Yeah.
Lower your expectations. And if you can't think of anything, lower your expectations to 0 for the day ahead. Don't expect it to be terrible and get your mind looking for terrible things, but expect it to be challenging. And like Nick said, treat everything that is good that happens today as a bonus, as a pleasant surprise, and watch how happy your Friday will be.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us. Happy 5-Star Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Love you.
Peace.